Now let's do some, if you like, politics, election, all of them put together. Some members of IPAC are fuming over the presence of heavily armed security officers in an IPAC meeting a while ago. Representatives of IPAC, including staff of the commission, were thoroughly screened before entering the meeting hall, as some of the reps were asked to leave their bags behind. Some members of the political parties who spoke to JoyNews say they were intimidated, or they felt intimidated by the presence of the armed security men in the meeting. Let's hear from PSC's chairman, Bernard Mona, who is part of the meeting.
Absolutely. As I stated, I was carrying my bag with my kinky inside, and only to get here and my bag has been taken away.
With the kinky?
With the kinky. And I am not going to eat that kinky, and I don't even know what would have gone into my bag. I'm scared. This is the first time that I have come across this, and I raised it at the IPAC, indicating that the presence of the security. First and foremost, the policeman at that meeting is not a member of IPAC.
No, so there was a policeman
inside the IPAC.
Is it the first time this is happening?
This is the first time, and particularly at the back of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, until later she was asked to move away to come and stay close to the door. And he was still at IPAC. Now, if IPAC was meant for political representation, and you have a police officer who is not a member of IPAC, then it means that those of us who also have personal guards are also, for our own security, should also come into the meeting with our guards.
Is this the same security person who has been detailed for her protection? Or
I don't know, because there were about 4 police persons up there who screened us, and then one inside the IPAC hall, which was a danger to me. And as I said, anytime particularly I was talking, the policeman was looking at me with some queerness. And I felt so intimidated that I had to tell the meeting that, look, I was not comfortable with the way this policeman was gonyo-faced towards me. And I didn't think that it was healthy for our electoral processes.
Bernard Mona there. Well, my colleague Kwesi Parker also monitored the meeting. He joins me now in studio with some more details. He's been covering IPAC for us, like I said. And actually, he's been covering several IPACs. So, Parker, it's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
How different is this particular IPAC from all the others that you've covered?
Yeah, it's different because, of course, we all witnessed the security presence at IPAC meeting. In fact, from 2015, I've been covering IPAC meetings, and I have not seen such a thing there. It was only during the 2016 election when the political atmosphere was a bit tense. That was when the Electoral Commission or the police deployed some security men.
So describe for us the difference. Okay, describe for us what you saw today that makes the difference.
Normally on when there's an IPAC meeting, the reps, including staff of the Electoral Commission, they just walk into the meeting and then they have their conversation. When they are done, they leave. But today, you get to the gate, I mean, the Electoral Commission, the main entrance, there is a police vehicle there with about 8 policemen and policemen waiting for you there. They ask you questions, they interrogate you before allow you to go to the building where they're going to have the meeting, actually. Now, when you get to the building, as we saw in the other video, there were another about 6 armed policemen also there who would then again screen you, search you to make sure that you don't carry any external materials into the meeting.
And what about these external materials? Did the EC provide any explanation as to why they're doing this?
Yes, in fact, I spoke to the Deputy Director of the Electoral Commission, that is Dr. Bosman Sari. Now, he's been explaining to me that there has been some security breaches at the Commission, and that is why they have decided to beef up security.
The Commission has witnessed several security breaches, and we have security agencies advising us that we have to beef up the security at our premises. So that's why we have done that.
If you say security breaches, what are these?
I'm not ready to comment on them now.
No, but you see, members of IPAC, those who attend the meeting, say they were intimidated by the presence of armed policemen in the meeting. And again, when they were coming in, they were screened. Some were even asked to leave their bags behind. Don't you think that I mean, in fact, they felt offended by what happened today?
No, I think they came to the premises of the Commission, and the Commission has a security policy. So we will look at it. Comments were made, so the commission will look at it.
Can you walk us through the security policy of the commission?
Now I can walk you through. I need to look at the document very well. Then
No,
I can.
there are those who have said that this clearly is linked to what the chairman of the NDC allegedly said about the chairperson of the commission.
No, that has not even come to our mind. It has we've never have had any discussions on that. So
the commission is not petrified by the comments of the NDC chair by saying that they are going to take the commission to the cleanest, and that is what has necessitated the beefing up of security.
No, that's not the reason why. That's not the reason.
So
why.
what could be the reason?
I think I mentioned earlier that we've witnessed several security breaches, and we made the members of IPAC aware. So, as part of advice from security agencies,
is it persons alien to the building who walk in?
At the appropriate time, the EC will comment on that.
Is it that some members are becoming rowdy at IPAC?
At the right time, the EC will comment on that.
But the question is that was it prudent for the EC to have invited armed policemen into the meeting?
Into the meeting?
Yeah, because the members said they were intimidated by their presence.
They are not members of any political party.
Of course.
They are not members of...
The armed policemen,
they were present.
But they were in a meeting that is reserved only for political party representatives.
Oh no, the EC, as you rightly pointed out, you notice that we've beefed up security.
So that's Dr. Bosman Asari. They're speaking to Parker earlier about security breaches at the Electoral Commission that's prompted them to bring in armed police officers. Well, Parker is still here. We're still talking a bit of politics. I told you earlier when we started the show that the Economic Intelligence Unit has predicted better economic times before the next polls in Ghana, and they've tied that to victory in the election 2020 for President Akufo-Addo. Well, the NDC has released a statement. The IU actually said in that report that Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, the president, and his NPP will see the country's economic situation generally improve during the remainder of the terms of office. Mr. Parker Wilson is here with me. He has detailed on the statement by the NDC on the back of this report. He'll share with us what the NDC has to say about this, Parker. Right,
so let me quickly run through what the party says. They raised about 4 critical points why they disagree with the report. Now, it says as a political party, we respect the EIU as an international reputed policy think tank, which has been noted over the years for political and economic forecasting. However, we wish to state that the EIU's predictions are not sacrosanct or proven fact, even though some of their provisions, some of their previous predictions have come to pass. So they have acknowledged that indeed
they acknowledge the credibility of this organization and the fact that over the years
the report is not sacrosanct, even though some of the predictions have come through
over the years.
Yes, some of them too have been wrong, and they are saying that the IEU prediction on latest economic growth in Ghana is based on growth driven predominantly by the oil and gas sector, while we have to state that this growth was largely projected to happen due to the huge investment in Ghana's oil sector by the Eswal Mahama administration. So they are attributing that to the former president, John Dramani Mahama, who is now their candidate for the 2020 election. Now, secondly, they say that the latest EIU prediction is again based on the assumption that it will be difficult for the NDC to market and portray its presidential candidate, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, as the better custodian of Ghana's economy. This assumption is patently false. That's what they're saying. It goes on to say, the fact shows that the record of John Mahama relative to the management of Ghana's economy is far superior to that of our current analysts. John Mahama's unprecedented investment in capital projects, which created thousands of sustainable jobs and improved the livelihood of Ghanaians, stand tangibly and visibly like a lighthouse. And so that is what they are saying. So it goes on to talk about why they believe that this is not a true reflection of what is going to happen in 2020.
Certainly, that is pretty much expected. That's the opposition NDC and their response to the EIU's prediction, if you like, of what will happen in election 2020. So they take the basis upon which the conclusions were made by EIU, and they try to refute it, essentially. Parker, thank you so much. Parker is on the political desk here at JoyNews. bringing us that breakdown of the NDC's statement on EIU.